James won't admit it, he refuses to believe queer theory destabilizes normativity, gender binary, and the nuclear family. James blocks the truth, hears people who try to show him, creates an echo chamber for himself to reinforce his fantasy. He used to believe in something, what happened? Mills for liberty. Gnostic sex cult, building his own world, a Gnostic sex cult, unhinged from reality, totally lost in what can we do? But mock him relentlessly. It's not a Gnostic sex cult, James. No, it's not. Stop lying to your audience. No, it's not. It's not Gnostic, James. Mary Nardini tells us queer liberation means the annihilation of capitalism. Catch up, James. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. Whoa. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's capitalism. To pocket all that money from the mills for liberty. The left hates capitalism, but James won't admit it. He refuses to believe queer theory stabilizes normativity, gender binary, and the nuclear family. But James blocks the truth, smears people who try to show him, creates an echo chamber for himself to reinforce his fantasy. Used to believe in something, what happens for liberty? Gnostic sex cult, building his own world. The Gnostic sex cult, unhinged from reality, he's totally lost it. What can we do but mock him relentlessly?
Well, hello. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, I think. It's Wednesday, right? Happy Wednesday, fellow Gnostic sex cultists. Welcome to The Cult. This is a show that I stream Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, and on Rumble, where we do deep dives into the radical revolutionary far left. Occasionally, we talk about some other stuff too, but pretty highly focused on the people who are taking over all the institutions, who are driving every crazy idea in the world today. And what we do on this channel is I show you things that no one on the internet is showing you. I break down the language of the far left so that you can learn to understand it, become fluent in their language so that when it shows up in your real life, you know what you're dealing with. I show you the strategies they're using. I show you the groups that no one else even knows about. And generally speaking, I'm about 2 years ahead, 1 to 2 years ahead of every major influencer, of every commentator, of every pundit. If you don't believe me, stick around for a while and you'll see that that's true. Trust me, it's hard for me to believe as well. So what you're getting on this channel, guys, is you are getting the tip of the spear. You are getting the information that you will only hear about from Libs of TikTok or the Daily Wire or any of these other places. You might hear about it a year or two from now, but you're getting it first. And that means you're going to be better prepared. And, you know, we can scream and shout from the rooftops and hope that as many people as possible listen. But the fact of the matter is there's a reason that so many people on the right steal my journalism. try to deny me credit anywhere for stuff that I do. They're all watching the streams. We all know that. Actually, maybe not this one. This one's a little bit more old school. We're taking it a little bit light today, but like they're all watching my streams just to steal my content and pretend they came up with it when in fact they have no idea how to source any of this stuff. And we catch them every single time, right in the act. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So if you're here, you're getting the stuff before anyone else. So take a seat. We got some stuff to do today. And here's the thing. It's the day before July 4th. Hey, Emily over on Rumble says, yes, you are. Thanks for staying on point for us. Don't let the haters get you. The naysayers will naysay. Yeah, so here's the thing, guys. I think that, I've been thinking a lot about the entire kind of like mise en scène of the situation ever since last week when James Lindsay just totally outed himself. If people don't know what happened last week, here, I'll show you what happened last week because I documented all of it. I'll show you. Last week when, the thing is that like anyone who follows my work has known that this was happening. This was not new information to people who are like tuned in and paying attention. But last week when James Lindsay publicly struggle sessioned the Babylon Bee, or the not the Bee, the real news version of the Babylon Bee, publicly struggle sessioned not the Bee to demand they remove a credit that was absolutely rightfully mine, that everyone knew was rightfully mine, that was from something that I've been talking about for over a year before James even knew what it was. And this is all documented, and there are receipts for all of it, and it's completely public. And even the person who stole my credit openly admitted that she got it from me and from watching Socialism Saturday, because duh. There was no one else talking about that content. And so I can acknowledge that sometimes mistakes get made, and if a correction had just been issued being like, hey, I got this from Carlin's Socialism Saturday, go watch the link, that would have been one thing. But no, James Lindsay swoops in when no one mentioned him and demanded that Not the Bee remove the proper credit that they gave me because James doesn't like my tone. James, who has absolutely no clinical psychology experience at all, and whom I've had literally 1 10-minute conversation with in my entire life, James thinks that he has the credentials to diagnose me with a personality disorder. And this is not even the first time he's diagnosed me with a personality disorder. But like, let's just put that aside for a second. Even if I did literally have every personality disorder that they try to diagnose me with, it was still my credit. And it was still my work. And so really, whether or not you like someone's tone really shouldn't matter when it comes to fighting back against the left, understanding what the left is doing. Anyway, we've all been through this before. I did an article about it. I did a video. You guys know what's up. You guys know that James is openly calling for my cancellation and openly struggle sessioning anyone who links to my work. And in fact, this isn't even the only, like, I'm now so used to James talking about me. James was tweeting about me last night. I was like, I actually got to bed at a reasonable hour last night. While I was asleep, James decided to retweet Poetry Painter and her psychotic lunacy about me because Poetry Painter is obsessed with me. She thinks about me all day. If you go to her Twitter feed, like half of her entire Twitter feed is about me, even though she's blocked on my Twitter. So she's monitoring all my posts through some sort of sock account that she has, posts about me all the time. And so James, and I told you this was going to happen, that James was going to share these trolls, because that's literally all he can do. But the irony of this is that this is literally me retweeting something James posted where James has finally, at long last, gotten around to telling people that queer is a political identity that is separate from the LGBT. James just got around to this, presenting this as new information, being like, guys, we need to separate the Q from the LGBT. James has just started saying this. Do you know what I was saying over a year ago? You don't even have to know. You can see it in this tweet. It's this article right here. I've been telling people overtly and aggressively for over a year that it was not the T that needed to get separated from the LGB. It's the Q that needs to get separated from the LGBT. Because it is the Q that is the problem. It is the Q that wants to abolish the gender binary. It is the Q that wants to abolish the nuclear family. It is the Q that anyone can identify with. You don't have to be gay or trans to identify as queer. You can be anything and identify as queer. And I started explaining this to my audience aggressively over a year ago. While I was doing that, James was calling every trans person a groomer. James was on the total, like, we need to separate the T from the LGB train. He was so far behind me on this one, it's not even funny. Well, guess what? He's just now got around to it a year after me. And this is documented right here. And so these guys are acting like this is some sort of own. Poetry Painter doesn't even know the difference between the T and the Q. I would bet that James, if you pushed him to describe it, can't actually tell the difference between the T and the Q. Can my audience tell the difference? Do you guys know? Pop quiz for the chat. What is the difference between the T and the Q? What is the difference between trans and queer? Let's see if my audience knows more than James Lindsay and his cult. He wants to say that I have a cult? No. No. My cult disagrees with me way too much to actually be a real cult. What is the difference between the T and the Q? This is something Poetry Painter can't articulate because she's a psychotic lunatic. This is something that James Lindsay can't articulate because he doesn't actually understand this. Trans upholds the gender binary. Q wants to abolish it. One wants to uphold the gender binary and the other wants to remove the gender binary. It's a political ideology, yes, but this is the difference. Trans as in transition means you go from one gender to the other gender. That is upholding the gender binary. Queer is a political ideology that seeks to abolish the gender binary. That's what non-binary means. It means no binary. Trans upholds the gender binary. Queer is defined as opposition to the gender binary. Queer is a political identity versus changing your sex. The T upholds the gender binary. Q is a far left political ideology that wants to abolish the gender binary. Emily over on Rumble says trans is someone who is swinging towards the other gender. Queer, I have no clue about. It's all crazy to me. Sexuality should not be part of someone's identity. Well, Emily, this is the thing. Queer has nothing to do with sexuality. It has nothing to do with it at all. You can be a straight, cis, white man and still identify as queer. Queer has nothing to do with who you love. It has nothing to do with who you sleep with. It has nothing to do with the bits between your legs. It has nothing to do with any of that. It only has to do with a far left political ideology that wants to abolish the gender binary because they believe capitalism created the gender binary by putting men in the workplace where they had all the power and all the money, women in the home doing the unpaid labor, raising the next generation of proletarian workers. That is the nuclear family. They believe they need to abolish the nuclear family in order to abolish capitalism because the nuclear family reproduces capitalism through something called social reproduction theory. I know I'm speaking really fast right now because I've said this almost every single day of my life for years and years and years now. If you have questions, let me know. Why is it that everyone in my audience understands the difference between the T and the Q? James is just getting around to telling people the difference between the T and the Q. And yet, when I correctly point out that I've been telling people this for literally over a year, I'm the one whose character gets assassinated. You know, this is what happens when you form cults of personality. This is what happens. Literally, James has never once answered any criticism, any intellectual criticism I have of his work, and we have plenty. But the point here Thank you for putting that link in the chat, Human Centipede. The point I want to make with all this is I've been doing a lot of thinking, and I think some things are going to be changing in terms of I need a community that is going to hyper focus on the work that I'm doing and getting that work out there. Now, right now, I have a community, and many of you are doing awesome in terms of helping me get this stuff out there. I'm not trying to shit on anyone. However, there are a lot of things going on in this community that are kind of distracting to the goal that I stated. And it has reached a point where I have so many projects I want to do. I have so many things I want to be able to focus on that I'm going to need to start cutting out things that I do not believe are in the focus of what I want to achieve. Because the fact of the matter is this: we have, for everyone who wants the information out there that I talk about on the channel, we have a finite number of hours in the day. We have a finite amount of resources, and we are going up against a machine that does not want people to see this. And so while there are very many things that I do appreciate about many people in this community, we're going to need to start hyper focusing. And some people are not going to be happy with what that means, because it means we're going to have to let some things go. And I'm sorry about that. I really am. I'm not announcing anything right this second. I'm just trying to prepare people for the reality that if we are serious about getting this information out there, then we are going to have to hyper focus. And if you don't want to hyper focus because you don't think it's important, or you just have other things you want to do, or you have other things you want to spend your time doing, I completely understand. It's no harm, no foul, no hard feelings. But there have been a lot of distractions that have been going on that have been perpetuated throughout years in the community, okay? And this is my fault for building it this way, and to be quite frank, it was built this way because I liked a lot of those things. But we need to focus. And I need a group of people around me that want to focus, that understand why this is important, that understand what we're doing, and that want to participate in that. And again, if I make some changes that you don't like and you're pissed off, I'm really sorry. I am. But I'm not building a cult around me being a personality that people like. God knows I can't do that anyway. You either love me or hate me, right? And what we need to have is a cult around getting this information out there. And this is the only way it's going to work. And there have been way too many distractions that have existed across a whole bunch of different levels. And I need to be in a place where I can obsess over this, and that I can surround myself with people who want to obsess over this. And if you want to take other conversations elsewhere in terms of, starting a group chat where you guys can talk about stuff going on in your life, that's fine. I don't mind that. Like hanging out in the supporter Discord and talking about your day, or things that are theoretical things or stuff like that. I don't mind that. We've got the writers group in the Discord. I'm not even a part of the writers group because that's just it doesn't work into my schedule, and I have other ways that I write and stuff like that. But other people can be a part of that. So if people want to build up things that they want to be involved with that are separate from obsessing over this stuff, I have no issue with this at all in any way. I'm happy to provide you with the platform to do it. If you want to do it in the Discord, I'm happy to do all those things. However, there cannot be an expectation that I will be participating in those things. And there cannot be an expectation that I will be leading those things. And there cannot be an expectation that I'm going to be I mean, I'm sorry to be brass tacks about it, but responding to random DMs from people that have nothing to do with this, responding to questions that people can answer for themselves if they just look in the word, like you guys have no idea how many like just random DMs I get from people that they mean well, they want to support, and I get it, but it's just like you could have just like looked for yourself and stuff like that. So there's going to be some changes coming. I'm not announcing anything yet. No one needs to worry, but I want everyone to know that like what we are going up against is actually a really fucking difficult task. And if you're not up for participating in it, I understand, I really do, but I need to surround myself with people who are not going to be crying, who are not going to be whining, who are willing to do what is required in order to win. That's what I want. I don't want to have to beg and coddle people to get them to retweet something. I don't want to have to beg people to get them to click the like button on the goddamn stream. I don't want to have to beg for any of this. And so we are in a really uphill battle. And I want to create the type of community that is hyper focused on the uphill battle that we're in. Because God knows no one else is going to do it. And again, it's not your cup of tea. I understand. I really do. But for far too long, I have been more focused on other people's needs and other people's wants and other people's desires than I have been on my own. And I've managed to do a lot focused on my own stuff, but not as much as I want to do and not as much as I can do. So that's the gauntlet or the challenge, I guess, that I'm laying down. And I want people to know that. And I want people to be expecting that. And if I make decisions that you don't like, I really don't want to engage in whining and fighting. This is my community. This is my work. This is my fucking legacy. And I want as many people to be involved as want to be involved. But no one is going to dictate how I'm spending my time or what I'm talking about or what I'm focusing on except for me. And I hope people get it. And that's all I want to say about that. And, you know, part of this is like, look, we are doing some cool shit in this community. Check this out. Look what's in Los Angeles. Look at this. Look what's up on these things in Los Angeles where people are hanging flyers and stuff. Does anyone recognize that? How about at UCLA? What's being handed out at UCLA in classrooms? Anyone recognize that? Now, this might seem like a small thing, guys. This might seem like a small thing. Just a couple of flyers. No big deal. But see, we have this whole website called the Unwoke Underground. You can find it at unwokeunderground.com, where we have a whole bunch of flyers, a whole bunch of zines, a whole bunch of other files that people can download completely for free. We made them for you. They've got QR codes to my Substack for more information. They look fucking cool. There are different people, and by the way, you can get involved in this if you want to design your own stuff that we put up here. This is all going on in my supporter Discord right now. We've got all this cool stuff. Different people are working on different things. You can download them into little books. You can print them off. There are all sorts of different styles. We got the scribbles there as well, so you can decide which ones you like. And you can download them and hang them up in your community. And what I want to do later this fall, when students are coming back to school, I want to do a whole initiative where we do a big push on this stuff and we all print out a bunch of shit and we all go to college campuses near us, because every single person lives near at least one college campus within a drive. And you go to the college campuses and you walk around and you find some billboards. And when you find some billboards, you hang them up on the billboard. You take a picture. You make sure that picture gets back to me somehow. I want to do a mass release of this stuff all in one fucking weekend, all over the country, all over college campuses. I want to do stickers. I want to do flyers. I want to do zines. I want to do all these fucking handouts. And we're going to all coordinate this at the same time. So one weekend, it just shows up in a whole bunch of places. That's one of the things I want to do. I want to be coordinating to get more people involved in this project. Honest Dog Allison really wants more people involved in this in the Discord, and she's doing a lot of the work. Gayla's doing a lot of the work. Bot's doing a lot of the work. There's a lot of cool stuff, but every single person can get involved with this, and you can design your own, and you can use the files that I give you in terms of the written information. You can be like Allison will teach you how to do this stuff. She's an artist. She knows how to do it. And so if you want to actually create the stuff, or if you just want to print it out and use it, all that's available. And this is one of the things that I really want to push because I think it's cool. I think it's cool to go in and do things in the real world. I think it's cool to make stuff that looks like it fits in at like a woke coffee shop or a bookstore or any of these things. Fits right in until you scan the QR code. I think that stuff like this in the real world matters way more than any bullshit going on Twitter. I think stuff like this in the real world matters way more than any fucking video that I can make. If we can coordinate and do all this together and make a big fucking splash, and I've got some other ideas that are not up here yet that I want to include in this, that's going to be cool. It's going to be when students are coming back to school. That's as much of a date as I'll give right now. It's going to be when students are coming back to school. Now, to be really clear, you can do this at any time. There's nothing stopping anyone from doing exactly what Vince did and just downloading the files and printing them off and going and hanging them up. In fact, we have other people who've done that. Look at this. Here's just not that one. We're not talking about him anymore. There are some people right on the homepage going to places in their communities, going to dispensaries, going to places that have these billboards. Like one of these is like this one is actually hanging in a weed dispensary. Brilliant. You go to places where people hang up flyers. You go to places where people do stickering. You hang them up there, just like any other community thing. This is how these ideas perpetuate. We are literally taking the tactics that the left used to perpetuate their ideas, and we are using them against the left. No one else is doing this. There is no amount of whining that James Lindsay can do on Twitter that will match going out into the real world and doing exactly what the left is doing, except turning the strategy against them. This is how we connect with real people that actually care about solving real problems and informing people of problems that they may not even understand existed. So that's going to be coming. That's going to be one of the things that we're focusing on. And I want to thank Vince for that. And by the way, guys, if you like some of that artwork, I have a whole zine collection in the Unwoke Art Store. You can head over there. It's unwokeart.com. And this is where you can, and by the way, you can print off these files and make your own t-shirts, but like I've already made the t-shirts for you. And because the files are free to use, you can use them for whatever you want. But like I've already made a bunch of t-shirts if you want to buy them from me and support the work I'm doing. And they're really, really cool. They look awesome. Like I'm going to get this one. I think this is like the coolest t-shirt and it just doesn't even say anything. But it stands for non-binary. The QR code does really work. So you could actually have a QR code on your t-shirt that links to an article explaining what non-binary is. But it also just looks cool. And that's part of the fucking point is that I want stuff that looks cool. Yes, I do. There was a time when I didn't, but I do now. There is a huge post in the supporter Discord all about the zines, concepts, visuals. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. And guys, we're going to start using the Discord much more effectively. I have a whole plan around that as well. I'm going to create a whole street team in that Discord. We have kind of been doing it disparately, but now I'm going to be creating a whole street team section in the Discord, and we're going to be combining a lot of different stuff. Anyway, so those are some of the things that we're working on. And these are the things I want to be spending more time on. And I mean, come on. Like, it's just like, come on. This stuff just looks cool. This says they must be annihilated on it. People might think this is a communist t-shirt up until you actually read it. And then it's not a communist t-shirt anymore. You know, I love doing stuff like that. Anyway, That's one way you can support my work, guys. Heading over to the Unwoke art store, picking up some sweet merch. You can also get the newest merch in the store, including the July limited edition black on black Plague Doctor shirt. I'm doing a new Plague Doctor every single month. We've got the new horror show collection launching, which is basically based off of my love of like old school horror movies and like cult stuff and things like that. But I'm basically taking hater tweets about me and I'm repurposing those hater tweets into t-shirt designs that I think look cool. This is called the bottomless pit of dark because at one time some bitch on Twitter who's a psychotic lunatic said I was a bottomless pit of dark. And so I was like, all right, I can make a t-shirt out of that. Now here's the key. Is the person standing at the top of the bottomless pit, are they jumping in or are they getting out? Who really knows? Who really knows? But it looks cool. I also have this one's just for fun. I was in a certain type of mood the other day. And so I made a t-shirt that represented my certain type of mood. It doesn't really mean anything. I just thought it looked cool. Anyway, that's some of the stuff you can get in the Unwoke art store. I've got lots of t-shirts, hoodies, water bottles, like glassware. I've got all sorts of cool stuff, stickers, like whatever you want. And of course, all purchases in the Unwoke art store do go to support the work I'm doing. And I really do appreciate it. And of course, you can always find my work over on the Substack, which is Carlyn, Karlyn, .substack.com, which is really zoomed in right now and really should not be this big. Come on. There we go. That's what it looks like. So make sure you are subscribed to the Substack, guys, because you can sign up for free email updates to get articles, to get videos, to get podcasts, stuff like that every time I send stuff out. And if you want to support the work I'm doing, $8 a month, $80 a year does keep me in business, and I really do appreciate it. All right, what are we going to do today? We're taking a light day today because it's the 4th of July tomorrow. A lot of people are on a holiday. And I thought that we would go back and remind ourselves of the Weather Underground. The Weather Underground was basically a student-led, terrorist group. What was it? It must have been in the 60s. It had to have been in the 60s. That was, committing acts of terrorism in order to protest Vietnam. The reason I want to go back and look at the Weather Underground is not only that people like Bill Ayers is actively involved today in the far left. Bill Ayers still goes to the socialism conference. He still speaks at the socialism conference. He's a college professor, for crying out loud. And so what I want to go back and do is remind myself, because I haven't actually looked into the Weather Underground in probably since college. I know I learned about it in college and I know generally what it is, but I'm sure there are still so many details that I don't know because I either never learned them or I don't remember them or things like that. So I have a couple documentaries here. And one of them I might get in trouble for watching on YouTube. I'm not sure. So we're going to watch the one that's on YouTube first. The first one we're going to watch is from a YouTube channel called Timeline. It's called Student Rioters Who Were the Weather Underground. And so we're going to watch that. And then I have another one over on Rumble that I couldn't find it on YouTube, but it is on Rumble. And you know what? We're just going to give it a try. We're just going to try. And if it fails, it fails. And I'm going to obviously be doing commentary and stuff like that over it. But we're going to try just watching a couple of documentaries about the Weather Underground and just seeing what's what and reminding ourselves what happened. So guys, if you are on board, please mount the like button for me. Now, listen, there is a massive disparity right now between the number of people watching my stream and the number of people who have mounted the like button for me. Guys, I'm just going to sit here very patiently. We need to bring those likes up. I need the likes to come up. I need them to come up significantly. Because this is a pathetic display, guys. Why do I have to sit here and beg people to like the video? You know you're going to like it eventually anyway. I'm still not seeing movement. Why am I not seeing? We'll sit here all day. Come on. I need that number to go up. Come on. Guys, this is why. Come on. Genuinely pathetic, the display I'm seeing here. I can just listen, guys, if you don't want to do this, I can just stop the stream and go do something else. Let me be very clear. If I don't see that fucking like number come up significantly right now, I'm just gonna stop the stream and go do something else. I need at least 20 more people to like the stream right now before this gets started. And if it doesn't, I'm being serious, guys. I'm watching the number stay stagnant. If you guys don't want to like it, I'll just go do something else. It's not moving at all. All right. I'm going to refresh just to make sure. Let me see. Nope, not moving at all. Okay, so I guess the only assumption I can make is that people don't really want to watch the stream. They don't really want to watch the Weather Underground documentaries. And so I should just go wrap up the stream and go do some other work then. 10, 9. I need at least 15 more fucking likes on this video or I'm ending the stream and we're not going to watch the documentaries. I'm not fucking around. I should not have to beg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, no stream today, guys. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.